Yes. What's going on? Welcome back to Father to Six. I am the General. I'm here to talk to you today. What we're going to talk about, my post I did earlier. Absolute abundance. What's going on? How you doing? Michelle stands alone. That's what's up. Hey, all right. So we're going to talk about absolute abundance. What's going on? Thanks for joining in. I posted that there earlier. What does it mean to me? How do I apply it to fatherhood? And I'm not just talking about fatherhood. This can be applied universally. When I say universally, it doesn't matter if you're a father, mother, brother, sister, auntie, uncle. Even if you have no kids, you want to apply it to yourself. I'm about to hit it right now. Absolute abundance. And let me get mine. Absolute meaning ultimate. Okay. Absolute meaning ultimate. You know, absolute. When someone says I'm absolutely sure, that's ultimately sure. That's 100%, fully barred. Okay. Abundance. Abundance meaning more than what I have to give. You see what I'm saying? Not having just my bare minimum or the requirement, but more than the requirement. So I have the true abundance, more than what I have. Not just a little bit, way more. So when you say I have absolute abundance, how do I apply that to myself? So my channel is about fatherhood, parenting. You have to believe, okay? Believing is knowing too also sometimes. You have to believe and know that you have absolute abundance in who you are to give to your children, to your family, to yourself, to your friends. I have everything I need inside me to give. You see what I'm saying? At the moment that I'm giving it. At the moment that I'm giving it. So you're like, oh no, I'm not perfect. I don't have everything. Yeah, but you have everything you need at the moment. That's the key. We can't always think about what I need for the future in the sense of, you know, I can't do this because I don't have this. What do I have now? What can I work with now? What can I work with now? So what are we working with now? I'm better than yesterday. You see what I'm saying? I can walk. I can move. I can make a phone call. Okay. So how can I really apply this to my life? Like tangibly. Okay. Cool. I'm about to tell you right now. Okay. As a father, what do I have? I have experience. So I had my first child at 16. I was 16 years old when my first child was born. Okay. With no college degree, with no nothing, I have experience on raising children from age 16 to 35. Now, what can I give tangibly to my kids? Oh, I can give them a whole lot. That's not in the books. I can give them real life experience on things not to do, things to do. You see what I'm saying? Because we all go to a form of education to learn about those things to do and not to do. Even if it's training on a job, you learn what not to do, when to clock in, when to clock out. When you're in school, you learn how to use a formula and when to use different rules. You see what I'm saying? So what do I have? I ultimately have everything I need at the moment to give to my kids. So when they are 1 year old, I don't need to teach them math at 1. I need to teach them about, mannerism. I need to teach them about walking. I need to teach them about doing for themselves, how to hold the bottle, how to hold a spoon, how to eat properly, how to get adjusted to things. You see, when they're 2 years old, it's a different step. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at the moment, I have everything I need for my child. At 1, they need diapers. At 11, they don't need diapers anymore. You see what I'm saying? So what I used to have at the time may not work for the time right now, but it did at that moment. You get what I'm saying? Cool. So ultimate abundance. I have ultimate abundance as a father. Let's flip that to a brother. I have ultimate abundance as a brother. Because of what I went through, I can give my brother a lot of advice. My brother doesn't have, children like I do. He don't have children at all. You see what I'm saying? So I can give him, I'm screaming, baby. I can give him that advice as a brother, and talking to your brother. And when I say brother, it doesn't have to be a blood brother. It could be a close friend that you call brother because you got to have that brotherly relationship. When I was in the Marine Corps, we called each other brother in arms. You see what I'm saying? So because there's certain things that a brother can do that no one else can do. You get what I'm saying? Certain things that a father can do that no one else can do. So ultimate abundance in brotherly and brotherhood. If you're a sister, you're a sister watching this. You're a queen watching this. Ultimate abundance as a woman to give my sister advice. You see what I'm saying? I don't have all the advice in the world. Not quite at all. But I have just this much advice that maybe she ain't been through or she can't see. I have what I need today to give to her. So going back to fatherhood, parenting, you see what I'm saying? We don't have all the answers. You'll never have all the answers because it's just something that happens. But you have to believe in yourself, no matter if you are in a stuck position. When I say stuck position, you're like, man, I just don't even know what to do no more. I try my best. I don't know what to do. We've all been there, not just in parenting, but in friendships, in relationships, at jobs. I don't know what else to do. You see what I'm saying? Let me tell you something about yourself. If you're alive and standing right now, obviously you are if you're watching me, you done made those decisions for yourself to get you to where you at right now. You see what I'm saying? You kept yourself alive. Do you have advice about raising teenage daughters? Yes, I do have two. I got a lot of advice. Here's my advice about for raising teenage daughters. Listen. Just listen. Start building a communication, a bridge of communication. A bridge of communication. How do you do that? I'm going to tell you how you do that. We got to talk to them and keep it as real as possible. How do you talk to them? How does the conversation go? I'm going to tell you how the conversation will go. Okay? Here it is. This how the conversation go. Hey, listen. I just want to prepare you for real life. Okay? That's my job as your dad. To prepare you for real life. Preparation. Now, when you're preparing for real life, I'm giving you the bare necessities for life because we can't imagine about every avenue and aspect that you're going. And what kind of father would I be? And if you're a mom, you can say it like this. What kind of mom would I be if I didn't give you everything that I had to help you out and to guide you for real life? What would you say to someone who doesn't give their all to their children? Put it like that. That's how I tell my kids. So I tell them like, listen, I'm obligated to give you what I have to give you. Now, it's up to me on how I deliver it to you. Like, what you mean, Dad? How it is up to you to how to deliver it? I'm gonna tell you. Okay? I'm like, we use the services to get food delivered to our house. So we use Publix, Walmart, Aldi's, and we get it delivered to our house. You see what I'm saying? So I said, when we order eggs, right? How we want to deliver it? We have like a little table outside our door and some chairs. We tell them to leave all the packages on the tables and chairs. What if they came with the eggs and just threw that joint to the front door? Or they took the juice and the vegetables, the bottles of water, and just start tossing them like it's a newspaper. Delivery. You see what I'm saying? So I said, listen, I don't want my groceries delivered like that. I said, you want your groceries delivered like that? So we laughing. You know what I mean? Nah, we don't want that delivered. Okay, so I'm the delivery person when I'm communicating to you. You're the delivery person when you're communicating to me. You see what I'm saying? And when Amazon or anyone delivers something and the package is broken, right? The customer is allowed to make a complaint. But, you see what I'm saying? So when I am delivering something to you, when you deliver something to me and I receive it broken communication, I'm going to reach out to your customer service department, which is you. And I'm going to say, hey, baby girl, I don't want to guess or assume what you meant by that. But can you tell me why you speaking to me in that tone and what you mean by that? Because I don't understand why. You see what I'm saying? I don't understand why you're upset over X, Y, and Z. You see what I'm saying? And I just want to communicate. And I'm going to let you... I'm going too far. I'm going too far. But we have to communicate. You see what I'm saying? And we got to work on us because they're watching us. Everything that you see is I'm telling you, most of it is a product of who you are. So if we cutting our kids off while they talking, cutting them off, I was good for that. They be talking. I'm like, well, let me tell you something. No. I'm straight cutting them off. But they don't have the same authority to do it to me. So now they're not listening. They waiting for me to pause so they can. This is how people communicate sometimes. They just cut. So I had to humble myself. You know what I mean? Bring myself down to my own authority, not to the authority of my child. Because I'm disciplined. I'm telling myself I'm going to do what I need to do to deliver the best product to my customers, which are my children. Because if I was at work, I will humble myself down to whatever boss or customer and how they talking to me. Yeah, I had customers cuss me out. But because I'm at work, I ain't cussed them out. You see what I'm saying? I have bosses who got a little close to the line. But I didn't meet them a little close to the line like I should have. You see what I'm saying? So what more can I do for my child? You see what I'm saying? Can I take a deep breath? Okay, I'm going too far. So this is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? We got to open it up and we got to work on ourselves, not cutting them off and truly listening. Listening is active. Listening is a whole art. It's part of communication. It's the art of communication. I'm looking at you. I'm not on my phone. I'm not making these faces like, I'm not rolling my eyes. You see what I'm saying? And it takes work. It takes work. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, y'all. So that's how I do with my teenage girls. You know what I mean? And my tactics may not work for your daughters. You know? Maybe you could take what I got and just kind of tweak it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Sometimes I got to take a breather and I'm like, listen, just can you give me a few minutes? Yeah, I need a few minutes. I need to gather my thoughts, gather myself. Why you need to gather yourself? I said, because I don't want to say something emotionally. Because, you know, when people are emotional, and I'm not talking about myself. I said, you know, when I'm emotional, I say things I don't mean. So I don't want to get myself to that way. So I want to excuse myself, give myself some time, because I know how to calm myself down. Here's some of the tactics I use to calm myself down. I go in the bath, I get some water, and I splash on my face to bring me back to reality. You know, I'm just talking about me. You know what I mean? Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, all right. And I got to say positive things, even if they're lies. She ain't mean that. Nah, she ain't mean that. Nah, she just having a bad day. All right. Somebody got to be the leader today. Okay, I'm the leader. Okay. You ready to lead? No, you need one more minute. Yeah, I tell my kids that. I tell my kids that because I want them to learn when you're in a sticky situation and your boss or somebody in authority cross the line, pushing you and baiting you to cross, you know how to bring yourself down. You see what I'm saying? Because that one emotional move by choking someone, cussing them out, can cause so much damage, not only for you, but for your entire tribe, your circle, your family, your whoever it is. It gets to the point where you at work, and because of how you reacting, they're going to retaliate against people that close to you at work, or they think that's close to you. Same thing with family. So how do I prepare my child for real life? Because it's something called office politics at work. It's school politics. It's street politics. It's a whole lot of politics out here. So how do I prepare them? And I just tell them my experiences. So abundance, right? Ultimate abundance. Did I say that? That was it? Abundance. Absolute abundance. There we go. Absolute abundance. You see what I'm saying? But it comes from experience. And we all, as parents, have this. Okay, let me read the comments. My bad, y'all. The way you explained it is fantastic. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So wise, my friend. You made me laugh. But I be laughing, too, because I be having these conversations with myself. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself. And they be like, yo, just as long as you don't talk back. I be talking back. I talk back to myself. We having a brainstorming session. Thank you for that. It doesn't get you anywhere. You're right. Yeah, I be having a brainstorming session. Yeah, you really helped me so much. Thank you. So absolute abundance, we have it. It's just about we don't be thinking that we have it. You see what I'm saying? Because we never been in this situation before. So, this is my first time dealing with an 18-year-old as a daughter. I never had an 18-year-old before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang, how do you do this? How you do that? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say this. And this might sound a little, looby, but it's okay. Come up with your own rules and your own philosophies. Yeah, come up with your own rules and your own philosophies. Because that's what you've been doing all your life, pretty much. You might have read a lot of books, heard of a lot of different people's different theories and whatnot. But ultimately, it's you who's really pulling the trigger. You have ultimate authority over you. You know what's right and wrong. Come on now. You know what's right and wrong. And if you're a good person, you know what's right. Ain't no good. Everybody who's watching my channel is on the same path as me. You see what I'm saying? Mine is 13 going on 16. They all 13 going on 16, 26, 32, 35. Yes. You see what I'm saying? I get it. So sometimes I just listen. And I have family dinner every night, okay? And we have rules at our family dinner. The rule is nobody can get up. We cannot be dismissed from family dinner till all issues have been resolved. And I'm blessed, okay, to be able to have the time to do this, okay? Because I know everybody don't have the time to take off from work. Not everybody has time to sit at the dinner table for 2, 3, 4 hours. Sometimes 5 hours at the dinner table. You see what I'm saying? I got 6 kids, so it might be an issue from each one of them to include the issues I got. So 7. You see what I'm saying? So let me say that first. And what I'm telling you right now is just what I do. And you can just tweak it how it works for you and yours. I just want to give advice out here. You see what I'm saying? I just want to give advice. Okay. So one of the rules is we don't get up from the table. And I'm the only one that dismiss you from the table. You can ask to be excused, but, I don't put a limit on how many times you're excused from the table. It's just that, can you speak for it? If you're in a boardroom, right, and you're in a meeting in the boardroom, how many times can you get up to go use the bathroom? Let's be realistic without somebody questioning why you keep getting up. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm preparing you for real life. So when you sit at a table amongst your peers and one person in authority or a few people in authority, can you keep getting up to use the bathroom? Keep getting up to get something to drink? Can you keep getting up for napkins? You see what I'm saying? Unless you're the boss. And then even if you're the boss, you're not getting up all the time because the more you get up, the more distractions you cause. Then you can't hear. Right? So everybody know at my house, dinner starts at 6:30, but you need to be downstairs at 6 to make sure you got everything on your plate that you want. You got your water, you got a snack, because be prepared to sit down for at least an hour. Did you go use the bathroom already? You wash your hands already? Cool. All that should already be done. All you need to do is sit yourself down. And then whoever cooks for the night, that person who cooks for the night, they share the food. They make the plates. Yeah, my kids cook in the house. You see what I'm saying? And then so we get our food and whatnot, and we sit at family dinner, and everybody has a turn. And this is the thing. You cannot override someone's turn. Sometimes I ask who would like to go first, but most times I sound okay. And we're gonna start with you know how they do it at work. We're gonna start with the maintenance department. Go ahead, maintenance. What you got for us this week or today? So I start with whoever's sitting to my right or my left. Or sometimes I might feel it. I'm like, let's start with you over here. What's going on with you? Tell me about your day. Then we'll talk about our day. Or they might bring the issue up first. Hey, I want to discuss this issue first. They get to say their issue and speak until they finish speaking. No one speaks until the person says, I'm finished speaking. Right? And I take notes because in a board meeting, you can't always keep cutting off the speaker. You know what I mean? Then it goes into arguing back and forth. No, my son is required to bring a notebook down to family dinner because we be saying some prolific things out there. We be saying some good stuff. We have some good dinner talks. And you need to write these notes down. Like I got notes right here. Write these notes down. Because you can reflect back to, because you can't remember every single thing. It's just like going to college, right? Going to college, they have lectures and seminars and symposiums. It's up to you to bring the recorder or to take notes. Let me go back to the comments. Can I rent them, please? Mine is 21, always working in school. I get it. So for those who don't have the time, moments. Let's create those moments. You see what I'm saying? So I do my best to create moments in the sense of teachable moments. Not, aha, I got you. And I tell them, I said, listen, sometimes teachable moments feels like, aha, I got you. I said, but you got to lean on the good side. Some of my kids, this is another rule we do. Lean on the good side. We all working on this. We ain't perfected it. Lean on the good side. Lean on the good side means to think positive about the situation. So let's just say someone didn't call me. That said they was going to call me back today. And they didn't call me. I'm not going to think, you know what? They didn't call me because they didn't like me. This and that. No. Lean on the good side is, you know what? Something probably happened. They probably were so tired that they fell asleep. Man, they was dealing with them kids. I know how it is dealing with kids. You know what? They probably having a good time and they just forgot. People forget. They're human. We'll link up tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? Leaning on the good side. Okay? So don't rate them. So I teach my kids lean on the good side. So I said, when we're talking, I want you to always lean on the good side because I've proven myself to be worthy of your trust, haven't I? Yes, Dad. I've been taking care of you since you was out the womb, right? Yes, Dad. Okay. So do I deserve a little leniency? Just a little bit. Okay. Yes, Dad, you deserve a little leniency. Cool. All right. How much is a little to you? Do I deserve more than a little than your friends? You know what I mean? I'm just trying to, see, because sometimes I make a lot of mistakes. So I want to know what's a little. Well, let's not even put a number on it. How about that? Because I don't put a number, on those who are close to me. I'm not going to say them. I'm not going to say to my child, I don't put a number on you. No, I like, those who are close to me, like, and I name one of my friends. You know what I mean? One of my other friends. Okay. Asking instead of telling is a must. Absolutely. I ask a lot of questions, but the thing is, though, asking questions is this. You have to know how to ask the right questions. You see what I'm saying? Because we're teaching them independence, but then they start feeling intrusive. You know what I mean? And yeah, you the parent. Yeah, you deserve to know. But how do you build a level of trust? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Ask the right questions. And asking it the right way. Delivering it the right way. Don't throw them eggs. Don't throw the people delivery on groceries. So when you're asking questions to your kids, don't be throwing them stuff to them that's not, it's not going to be delivered well. They want to be seen as people and not as subordinates. Think of yourself as a coach, on a basketball team like Michael Jordan. You see what I'm saying? It's still a level of professionalism that has to happen. Yeah, the coach might be a little hard. Get your behind over here. Run them daggone laps. But at the end of the day, it's a level of professionalism. And as they get older, I address them more professional. I'm not doing the, hey, baby. Hey, big boy. I got a 5-year-old. I talk to him like that. Hey, big boy. Now, it'd be kind of disrespectful if I'm doing it to my 15-year-old. Hey, big boy. You know what I mean? Now, he doing something crazy like a 5-year-old would do. I'm like, come on, big boy. That's how you want me to address you? No, Dad. Why would I address you this way? You know what? Because I did something like a 5-year-old. Oh, okay. I'm glad you know who you are now. You're not a 5-year-old, right? Yeah, you're right, Dad. And it's not always that easy. Okay? So yeah. Asking instead of telling. Ask the right questions. Your delivery. You see what I'm saying? Just ask for an answer. Like, hey, I just want to know. Because I said, well, because of, you see what I'm saying? You never want to lose their trust. Never have in 30 years for my son, nor 21 for my daughter. Trust is there because it was earned. Ooh, yes. Talk about trust. Trust. I like that. Trust. How do you build trust? And some people are like, I don't need you to trust me. So let me see how I can do this. How do you build trust and why building trust is important? So let me start with why building trust is important. If you don't, if you don't teach your kids how to build a relationship to include trust, because your relationship and theirs is going to be synonymous or, parallel to a lot of other relationships they have, whatever you do. So if I don't show you how to build a trusting relationship, you will never really learn how to build a trusting relationship with others. You allow others to mistreat you and mistreat you, and you will mistreat others because you don't know what a trustworthy relationship is, because you've never experienced it before in your life. You see what I'm saying? And trust is not only just keeping the secrets, but trust means that I've earned a right, and that I have your best interests. So for instance, I might do things that you don't agree with, but deep down inside, that you trust me to do these things to you, like ground you, tell you that you can't go to this party. You see what I'm saying? Because it's going to be alcohol there and you're underage, right? You're going to be upset, but you know that I'm doing this in your best interest. Because if something goes down, everyone at the party is going to be an associate to whatever is going on. You see what I'm saying? So, it's not a good idea. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you for this. No, thank you for the questions, because great answers come from great questions. You see what I'm saying? So how much do you trust me? You see what I'm saying? Because when you're sick and you can't do it for yourself, do you trust me then? Oh, yeah, Dad. Okay, so when you're unable to do for yourself, you trust me. But when you're able to do for yourself, do I still have that same level of trust? And how do we exhibit that to our kids? How do we exhibit that? That's a good one. Exhibit that through your relationship with them. Simple thing, okay? As my daughters were getting older, okay? I'm not just opening the door, okay? I'm knocking on the door. You see what I'm saying? I'm waiting for a response, okay? Even my boys, let me knock on your door, okay? Okay. Now I have ultimate rule in my household, of course, but I'm building a relationship, showing you how people live together. So even if I'm the landlord, I don't have the right to just walk in your room. You see what I'm saying? Walk into your apartment. Because my own daddy don't even do that. You see what I'm saying? The only reason my dad will rush into my room is for an emergency. And he has to hear something that sounds like a struggle, smell something, you know what I mean? See something, you know what I mean? That's the only way my dad would rush into my room. I don't even have to lock my door, because in my household, we don't lock doors in our household, because I live with people I trust. So I'm supposed to live with people I trust. If I can't trust you, I should not live with you. And I get that everybody don't have all the perfect scenario. I get it. But I'm talking preparation for life. Preparation for life. So if your kid talking about how to try to move with someone, these are the things they need to come in mind with. Can I live in the same place with you without locking the door? How to build trust once it's been broken. Okay, that's a good one. So who's it been broken on, the parent or the child? Because as the parent, we have to expect our kids gonna lie to us. This is part of the game right here. You see what I'm saying? Just like a fighter, an MMA fighter. You're probably gonna lose a tooth. It's part of the game. You know what I mean? And it doesn't feel right. It don't feel good. It never feels good, even if you expect it or don't expect it. But this is how I put it. What can I do to ultimately influence them not to break my trust? How can I be the ultimate influencer? The fatherhood influencer or the motherhood influencer or the influencer of my household. How can I influence the energy and shift the energy? I do symposiums in my house for a whole week, a whole month about trust. We'll just talk about trust every single day. Benefits of trust, results of trust. What happens? We'll just keep talking about trust for a whole month. So everybody has a true understanding what trust is. So I'll start like this. See, how do you teach that? Cool, I just go to Google, or I go get a dictionary. I get something of reference, and I type in TRUST, definition. You know what I mean? My search history, you know what I'm looking for. Trust. And I tell the kids, and this is what I talk about in family dinner. We have 4 definitions of trust. 2 is a verb, 2 is a noun, right? My daughter lost my trust. Okay. Ooh, okay. Got you. So how do you regain the trust back? Okay, got you. Increments. Okay. So increments. This is how you do it. Listen, I want to fully take responsibility. And this is what I tell my kids too. I want to fully take responsibility of everything I did, to include how I made you feel, to include the impact and the results of my actions. I want to take full responsibility. And let me be vulnerable to you and transparent, because when people are vulnerable, you usually not vulnerable unless you trust someone. So I'm going to put myself in a vulnerable spot, open, with no guard. Okay? And I just want to let you know that I'm sorry. And I know sorry is not going to fix it. And I know people say I'm sorry. And let me tell you what I'm sorry for. And I'm going to just own up to everything I did. You know, I'm not perfect. And this is not about you. Okay? And it's not an explanation or an excuse. It's not an excuse I'm going to give you. Okay? I made a mistake and I'm going to fess up. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to build up, even starting at ground zero. I don't know what ground zero is. Okay? But I'm willing to take the steps to get back to where we are. And I know it's going to be a long road, but I'm willing to do it. So whenever you're ready, okay, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. And it might take some time. It might even take years. You see what I'm saying? You know, but just be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Yeah. Pray on it. Yeah. But be the change that you want to see in the world. I tell my kids that all the time. So you want to be forgiven. Okay. What's the attributes of someone who's forgiving? You might have to go through a same test like that yourself with someone else. You see what I'm saying? Are you willing to do what you ask others to do for you? That's deep right there. Are you willing to do? And I'm not saying you, ma'am. I'm not saying you. I'm just talking just in general. You know, and this is how I talk to myself. I've been looking like general. Are you willing to do what you're asking others to do for you? I'm like, dang, bro, you got me. I ain't ready right now. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Just be real. I ain't ready right now. You know what I mean? Or how do I get ready? So, you know, let me just change myself. Because the inside you will show on the outside. The inside you will show on the outside. So, you know what? Start forgiving yourself. And I'm not saying just, it's over with, it's in the past. No, really make an apology to yourself on what you did, you made you do to make others feel that way. Apologize to yourself. Talk to yourself. You know what? I'm sorry, me. General. Yeah, we done messed up. I'm sorry, man. You know what I mean? I done made these people feel like this. I done did this to your name, our integrity. I'm sorry. Okay? So when you apologize to yourself and you forgive someone, you know someone that you love, right? They apologize and you take it back. Talking too much. Mouth dry. All right. You know when you're talking to someone, a loved one or someone you really care for, right? And they apologize and you accept their apology. How would you want to be treated if you wanted someone to apologize to you? You see what I'm saying? If you wanted to be forgiven, treat people that way. You know what I mean? Because we know it's always an eerie feeling when you forgive someone and you walking on eggshells. Do your best not to make other people walk on eggshells. Yes, you would treat people the way you want to be treated in your kids. But not always. People do that, though. We don't always treat our kids and other people how we want to be treated. And I'm not going to say how we want to be treated, because everybody don't want to be treated the way we want to be treated. The right way. Treat people do the right thing. And that'll clarify everything when people say, treat people the way you want to be treated. And I get what you're saying, Miss Brenda. I get what you're saying. I sure do. Because I think like that too, but just to bring in a more logical aspect to other people who do the what if thing, you know what I mean? I just say, okay, treat people the right way. And you know what? Yeah, the right way for everyone is different. But we all kind of can align to that. You know what I mean? We all kind of can align to the right way versus how I want to be treated, which is pretty much the same thing because you're going to treat yourself the right way. You're going to do, you know what I mean? I get it. But it's just a wording play, you know, and a visualization. So what's the right thing to do? So the right thing to do is apologize. You know, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. So ultimate abundance. We have the ultimate abundance in us. You see what I'm saying? Because we know right from wrong. You know what you want to do when you want to be better. Because not everyone will treat you the way you want to treat them. You're right. But I'm just, and this might sound a little, you know, but I'm gonna throw it out there. I am what I attract. I believe that. I am what I attract. I totally believe that. You see what I'm saying? And it's difficult to change at times. But you know what? Your body changes all the time. Just be a good person in general. Yes. Yeah. Be a good person in general. Yes. Good. Do the right thing. You know? But a lot of times people don't know how to be good because they've been surrounded by so much bad. And these memories and experiences trigger you not to be good because you're like, dang, the good guy, the good girl always get ran over. So I ain't going to be good no more. I'm going to taste the bad side. You taste the bad side, right? Oh, dang, this don't, ain't nobody taking advantage of me. You see what I'm saying? But this is the thing though. You know, it's about, you could be the good person all the time and still be, nobody mess with you. It's about boundaries because a lot of times we don't learn about boundaries. So, you know, when you're being good and you get taken advantage of, it's because you gotta realign your boundaries. You can't allow people to come in and run over and do stuff. You have proven there's good people out there. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? You know, there's so many good people that affected me to be good. I'm just passing it forward. That's all. You know, and I just be thinking about, dang, okay. Outside my family and my friends, how can I get this message out? How can I deliver it the right way? You know what I mean? So just be honest and open, you know? So, yeah, no matter how you treat others. So doing the right thing. So boundaries, we're going back to boundaries, you know? And I think that's a difficult thing. We have to teach our kids boundaries. You know what I mean? By displaying boundaries to them, you know, displaying boundaries to them. You know, what does boundaries look like? What does boundaries feel like? What does it feel for your boundaries to be broken? You know, what's expectation? Expectation and boundaries kind of go very similar. You see what I'm saying? And why is it similar? Because when I tell you my boundary, I'm now giving you and holding you to an expectation. You see what I'm saying? This is whatever for whatever as well. Yeah. So I'm boundaries for good people, you know, for all people, Miss Alicia, you know, boundaries. So I had a problem setting boundaries. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes we have a problem setting boundaries at work. We'll let them, you know, we'll stay longer. You know what I mean? We'll do extra. And I'm not saying don't stay extra and do longer, but I'm talking about when you get taken advantage of. We need to set boundaries in our friendships, all relationships, intimate included. You know what I mean? And in the household too. So how do we set boundaries? Okay. Well, we're going to talk about them. That's setting boundaries because boundaries need to be communicated. You know, we're driving on the road and we see a lot of communication that gives us boundaries on how to drive, right? Right. A lot of signage, you know, when we buy a house, we get an apartment. You see what I'm saying? It's contracts. You know, when you go to a job, it's a handbook, schools, handbooks, right? Cool. Thanks for following me. I appreciate that. Thank you. So boundaries. So we need to start setting boundaries at home, little boundaries. Here's a boundary that I have in my household. Okay. You cannot walk in my room without one, knocking, and then two, receiving the enter. Receiving the enter. You have to hear enter. I don't want you to see, and this doesn't count in my household. I thought you said. There's no thought. It's absolute knowing. So if you have to think, maybe you should knock again. Knock. Or just making sure you said enter. Cool. And then I need to hold myself to the same standard to an extent. You see what I'm saying? Right. I'm knocking. I even have to teach them how to knock. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I got my earpiece in, I might be playing my music. You know what I'm saying? Right now I'm in the bathroom, you know, I'm bumping. You know how we do sometimes as parents, we got to go to our little secret place, the bathroom. You put the little music on, you're in the shower, whatever, you know what I mean? You know, you just having a good time, just releasing, and you don't hear no knocking. You know what I mean? So I teach them like, yo, if it was a fire, how would you knock on the door if it was a fire? A burglar came in. You know what I mean? That's my trouble. I really need to learn boundaries with work on 13-hour days is not good. I get you. But if you are consistent in one area of your life, you'll be consistent in all, you know, eventually. So, you know, are you good at setting boundaries at work? You know what I mean? So hold yourself accountable the same way. I need to bring how I am. Okay, at work. Okay, cool. But you know what? It's difficult. It's easy to say that from this point of view because that's not your colleagues you're dealing with. You're dealing with your family. You see what I'm saying? And you deal with your family and your colleagues differently. So it's going to be a different dynamic. You see what I'm saying? Right. Cool. So what I do is this. I'm like, okay, let me get this sip of water. I say to myself, it's your job to teach them. So I say to myself, it's your job to teach them, right? How can I teach boundaries to them the best way possible? And I have 6 kids. So that you have to learn your kids first. You know what I mean? Okay, boundaries. Okay, cool. Because if I don't teach my son boundaries now, what could he be as a man that doesn't know boundaries? Okay, if I don't teach my daughter boundaries now, what kind of woman would she be not knowing boundaries? That's what I ask myself. This is not directed to you. I'm just, because I be having the same questions, real talk. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. Now I need to do this in courses, like, you know, steps. Where the maturity at? That's where I need to start at. So I'll just break it down, okay? And this is just how I do things for me with boundaries. And I'll go to boundaries, BOUNDARIES. And I go to definitions. I need to know what it means. What's boundaries mean? A line that marks the limits of an area, a dividing line that marks the limits of an area. So when I'm driving, there's a line, right, that shows me the limits of where I need to be going straight, one-way traffic, and traffic going the other way. That's the only thing that sometimes is separating us from oncoming traffic is a line. You know what I mean? And I only have 2 as a struggle. Good on you. So grateful for your work. Thank you. But you know what? It doesn't matter about 2 or 6 or 7 or 8. You know what I mean? Parenting is parenting. Don't matter how many you have. You know what I mean? So back to boundaries. I appreciate that. Thank you. Boundaries. So I tell them, I said, listen, if this is what boundaries are, it's things that 2 people agree upon. And if they cross these things can happen. Okay. Now you can cross these boundaries. You can cross these boundaries only under certain conditions. Okay. So when we're driving, right, I can cross the yellow line under certain conditions. If a police officer is pulled someone over, right, and it's taking, you know how they pull, they kind of taking half their vehicle to protect the car when they walk in the front. You see what I'm saying? I'm allowed to go a little bit over the yellow line to go back around. The mailman or mail woman, the mail people are taking the mail and they got the thing right there. There's a car accident. I'm allowed to go around the yellow line. You see what I'm saying? But I got to look first. You see what I'm saying? So there's different rules about breaking boundaries. And if I break the boundary, if I go across the boundaries under these conditions, I'm okay. It's acceptable. Okay. Now, what's not acceptable is me just driving on the other side just to be driving. Right? Because what could happen? Oh, you could die, Dad. You can kill someone. Right? Yeah. So let's look about boundaries like that. Okay, and it's not life and death, but it's about respect. If you truly respect me and love me, okay, you won't cross these boundaries. And if you do cross these boundaries, it has to be a reasonable explanation that you and I will say, you know what, without question, we'll both agree. I see why you crossed the boundaries. I see why. Yeah, cool. I'm going to respect your boundaries as much as I love you. You see what I'm saying? So now with setting boundaries as a parent, you see what I'm saying? Now I'm like, okay, now I got to show them this. Because if I don't show them, and I scare myself like this. If I don't show them this, something bad can happen. If I don't teach them how to drive and now they have a car with keys, you see what I'm saying? And they don't know the rules of the road. Now they're going to definitely be driving on the wrong side of the road, not knowing that it can cause an accident. So when it comes to teaching boundaries or doing boundaries, you know what I mean? I tell myself that, like, okay, dang, they about to get on the road soon. You know what I mean? They might be 13. You see what I'm saying? Not out the house, but still they're engaging with people who are 13, 14, 15, 16. And still no boundaries. You got to know what indicators are. You know, so that's a great question, you know, with the boundaries. You know what I mean? Because a lot, you know, especially as a single parent, you know, you trying to do your best and play both roles, you know what I mean? And not play both roles, excuse me. Wear both hats, I should say. You know, because I can never play a role of a mom. I'm not a mom. You know what I mean? I can put that mom hat on and do what I think what a mom would do, but I can never think like a mother. You know what I mean? I can think in what my mom did and what I know other moms do, but I don't have the mind of a mother. I have the mind of a father. You know, so I'll put the hat on, but because I put this hat on that says City of Flight, it don't mean that I'm from the City of Flight. You see what I'm saying? I'm just representing the City of Flight. That's not who I am. You know what I mean? So I put both hats on and I do my best. But here's the thing though. I know I'm doing my best. They know they're doing my best. They know that I'm doing my best. Because when people do their best, you can see it. You can see it. I would never think like a dad just sent that hat. Just you know, I'll be like, I tell them like this in a marathon. You know, it's two people who get the most cheering. Okay? It's the person in the first place and the person in the last place. The person in the last place get the most cheering at all. You know what I mean? Because people see them really trying to make it. They're running hard. You know, they out of breath. They pant. And then sometimes other athletes will come back in and help the person to the finish line. And people are cheering for them. So I think about that as doing your best. People can see when you're doing your best. Right? And then when you're doing your best, you know, it's easy to ask, hey, I just want to check myself. You know, do you think I'm doing a good job? You know? Because I just want to make sure I'm in alignment, I'm doing good. You know what I mean? Because we do that at work. We get performance reviews. If we don't get a performance review, you don't never want to know your boss and be like, listen, am I doing good? You know, as long as I'm getting that check, yeah, as long as you're getting that check. But, you know, those who like to advance in their career, you know, who want advancement. I'm not saying who like advancement, who wants to advance. Some people just like being in the same spot. There's nothing wrong with that. It's cool. Some people like to move up the ladder. You know, some people just like, you know, I'm just cool where I'm at. Cool. But, you know, when you're looking to move up the ladder, you seek, you know, constructive criticism or opportunity. What can I do better? You know, so I do that to my kids sometimes. I'm like, listen, you know, hey, what can I do better to be a better dad for you? You know, how can I be a better dad for you? But when I ask that question, I have to be prepared for these answers. You see what I'm saying? I got to be prepared. So at the family dinner table, that's one rule. Don't get up until all the issues are resolved. 2, you have to be honest. You have to be honest, but you have to be tactful and respectful. Okay. 3, you have to you have to know that people have a reasonable response. And I have to teach them what reasonable responses are. I worked in HR for a while. And, you know, when I had to terminate someone, I had to learn what a reasonable response is. From writing someone up or suspending someone from their job with no pay, I'm suspending you and you're not getting paid, there's a reasonable response. Okay? What's a reasonable response for someone who got a 5-day suspension? No pay. Okay? Crying. They're going to be mad. They're going to be upset. They may even cuss. They may not cuss at you, but they're like, man, F this, man. You know, oh, this is some BS, man. You see what I'm saying? Reasonable response. Now, I'm not saying I let people cuss me out. No. I'm like, listen, I understand you're upset, and I get this is a reasonable response, but I'm gonna need you to control yourself, okay? Because now I'm telling you that you are using profane language, okay? I need you to give me respect. I respected you. Let's be respectful, like adults. Most times it works. Okay. So where am I going back to? Reasonable responses at the table. So you say something to someone and they feel like it's a lie, it's going to be a reasonable response like, I didn't do that, but don't respond while the person is talking. That's another rule, but I had to go through these different layers first. You know what I mean? Before they was able to even have these conversations. It took work. Wear the hat. Wear the hat. I wear the hat. I wear the hat. I do. Sometimes it's too big. Sometimes it's too small, depending on my head size. You know what I mean? Sometimes, how we get them big heads as parents. You know what I mean? And then the hat be fitting like, not fitting properly. You know what I mean? So, ultimate abundance. That's what it was. Absolute abundance. Excuse me. Absolute abundance. We have absolute abundance. And that's the word for this week. I really wanted to touch up on that. Absolute abundance. We have absolute abundance as parents, as friends, as, mother figures, father figures, whatever you are, you have that abundance in you for where you at right now. Now, it's always, and I'm going to say this, it goes with growth also. How you going to grow? You know what I mean? Growth. What are you doing to grow yourself, to make yourself better than yesterday? Because your kids see that too, with growth. What are you doing to grow? And everybody has different ways of growing, different measurements, different, we got different lifestyles. So, I'm just giving my advice to tell you what works for me. And maybe you could take a little something from me and do the same thing with you, because I understand working 13-hour days. I understand working 15 and 16-hour days. I used to work in the restaurant business also. As a general manager. Anybody know anything about a restaurant business? General managers is over the entire restaurant. So anything go wrong, you got managers that you call out. You got health inspections, you got corporate coming. You living at that store until after these inspections is done. You know what I mean? You got to get staffed up. You got to get your crew trained up. You got to get your management team trained up. And sometimes it takes 6 months to really get your management team really meshed in. It take a long time. Conflict resolution. Restaurant business, you got to be a warrior. You're a warrior. You're in the restaurant business. I don't know nothing about retail like that, but, you're a warrior, I try to improve something every day. Life change for me is walking every day and working out at home. That's good. You got goals. That's good. So this is what I tell my clients too. I tell them this. I tell my kids this too. I tell them this. Write down a list of all the things you want to change about yourself. So I got this paper right here, this book right here. I'm going to fill this whole paper out, just line by line of things I want to change about myself. You write it diagonally and whatever, right? Cool. This is my blueprint. This is my plan of success, right? So now I have all these things, and there might be like 1,000 things on here because I want to, I love myself who I am, but I'm always trying to evolve. So I got a lot of things in here I want to work on, right? And that may be for a lot of people. Now let's go ahead and circle 3 things on here. The most important 3 things, okay? Those are the 3 things I'm going to focus on. My daughter's a manager at Turtle Jack. She's 21, and hours are crazy. I was a manager at 18. One of the youngest managers in that franchise. When I say this franchise, it was this restaurant chain that da. You know what I mean? I rose up the ranks, getting paid good money. Work for the competitors, so I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? That hustle mentality. One thing I can say is she's the manager over there. She moving. She's smart. Because you're dealing with hundreds, if not thousands of customers a day, to include internal customers and external customers. Internal customers are your crew people, your employees. A lot of times these employees ain't trying to hear nothing from no 21-year-old. I have people who working for me like 50, 60 years old. I'm like, ma'am, I need you on fries. On fries? Yes, ma'am, I need you on fries, please, okay? Thank you. I'm not about to beg you. ma'am. You get on fries so I can clock you out. I was known for clocking people out. I'll clock you out in a minute. You're clocked out. You're no longer employed here, or you're no longer on the clock. You can leave. Please leave. You come back, I got to write up for them. I can't write you up right then and there. I got hundreds of customers. You see what I'm saying? Then you got to know how to deal with people. Some people, I don't just write people up just to write them up. I got to know my people too. I know who's fast on fries. You know what I mean? I know who's fast in the drive-thru. I know who's fast on the speaker. You see what I'm saying? I know who I can put on front counter, who can deal with those customers who come in. My sandwich is wrong. You know what I mean? I put certain people up there because they represent me. They don't have to call the manager every time. Sir, I'm so sorry, sir. We're going to take care of this. You got something to drink? Let me get you something to drink, sir. We're going to take care of that. We're going to throw an extra fry in there for you. Customers love when you throw extra fries in there for them. An apple pie. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I rung everything up. I wasn't giving away for free. I do a promo. But customers love that. You know what I mean? You fix the problem. I need problem fixers. Problem solvers. So if I could train 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds at fast food spots how to be problem solvers, why can't I train my own kids? So I'm like, shoot. And I've been doing it. You know what I mean? I'm an awesome trainer. Anywhere I go, even working in HR, awesome trainer. You see what I'm saying? It's about knowing the people. Wow. Yeah. So, abundance, absolute abundance. We have it in us. I want to put a lot of positivity on my channel. LOL, you made me laugh. My daughter is so much like you. They promoted her because she isn't afraid to cut people off. Yep. And she's a problem solver. Steps up. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing like being a manager in a fast food or restaurant industry. You see what I'm saying? If you can manage that, it's just so many things that be coming. You know what I mean? And I'm smooth with it too. You got to do it with a smile. But a lot of people in the restaurant business are disrespectful. I get it. But I didn't like to be disrespected when I was a crew person. So I was like, I'm going to maneuver this in a way where it's not disrespectful because I don't like being talked like that. So I say, ma'am, sir, and I tell them like, listen, I got a job to do because if I don't do this job, they're going to send somebody else in here to do it. Okay. And they're probably going to pay them a little bit less. That's how they do things with a brand new person, and they get paid a little bit less usually. Nowadays it's a little bit more, you know what I mean? Or they might get more, you know what I mean? They taking my money. So I'm sorry, ma'am, I got a family to feed. You know what I mean? I'm hungry. You know what I mean? I'm hungry for my check. So I need to put you on fries. If you don't get on fries, you clocking you out. I don't play that. You know what I mean? Don't play that. So absolute abundance, and I had an absolute abundance there too, So I just wanted to get on the horn. I thank y'all for coming on, talk about absolute abundance. Got any more questions in there? I appreciate them. I'm a talker, but I don't want to over talk you. You know what I mean? This is my hour right here, 12:43. I'm in the zone right here. You know what I mean? So be expecting more from me. I'm gonna do this every day. I'm gonna do my best to do it every day. Oh, that's the last thing I want to tell you, parents. Everybody on here, no matter what you are, a parent, a son, or whatever. Okay, doing your best. Okay, doing your best doesn't necessarily mean thinning yourself out. That's a word right there. Doing your best doesn't mean thinning yourself out. Okay, it means, you know what? I'm just going to do my best. And my best is not thinning myself out. It's doing all I could do or can do, not taking away from me. That's the key. Not taking it away from me. Good night. Good night. Double salute. Okay. Do my best is not taken away from me, because if I'm empty, I cannot pour in. Okay. Finish this water. I'm empty and I can't pour in, right? So if I give you all I got, there's no refill. You see what I'm saying? Now let me go here where it's full. You see what I'm saying? Now I can pour into you and fill you up. You see what I'm saying? But in order for me to get filled back up from empty to full, I gotta rest sometimes. I gotta rest. Rest means I may have to drive to the park and walk around in the park. I may just need to go on a long drive, just head north. I've done that before. Listen, y'all, I'm just going to go. I'm going for a run. I'll be back. I'll just drive. Just drive. You know what I mean? But you have to get to know yourself. You know, and I'm going to talk about this, your authentic self, because once you know your authentic self, you know what to do to get you back to where you need to be at. Some people like walking. Some people are like, nah, I don't like walking. I need to go to the gym to get my frustration out. Cool. Some people are like, you know what, I need to write, or I need to meditate. I need to do this. Look, you need to know what's good for you to bring you back up. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'm gonna leave it like that. So, doing your best doesn't mean thinning yourself out. You see what I'm saying? It's knowing when to take a break, rest and recover, then get back into the fight. It's Father the Sixth, the General. Check me out on all platforms, Father the Sixth. I have a Patreon as well. Patreon.com/FT6. Patreon.com/FT6. I go to the gym. Yeah, me too. I'm going tomorrow. After I drop the kids off to the bus stop, headed straight to the gym. Patreon.com/FT6 for support. Donors, you want to be a donor, I do a little extra on Patreon. Yes, I do. And yeah, we're going to get this thing rolling. Yeah. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you. Thank you for your support. I thanks for the questions. I thanks for the comments. I thank you. I love y'all. I do. I just want to give back. Father the Sixth is the General. Holla at me.